Berachos Daf Nun Ches. When Gersh Benmo cursed Babel, he cursed its neighbors. Oile Rasha, Oile Shchenoi. When he cursed Shomron, he blessed its neighbors. Just like every human face looks differently, so too every human mind thinks differently. Therefore, if you see 600,000 Jews, you make a special bracha chacham harazim. The Gersh Benmo knows exactly what's going on in each and every one of those 600,000 minds. When you see 600,000 goyim, you say Boishe Imchem. When Ben Zoyma saw 600,000 Jews going up La'alila Regel, he added another bracha. Baruch Shebara Kol Elu L'Shamsheni. He created all these people to serve me. Adam Rishon, when he wanted to eat a loaf of bread, he had to perform 11 different functions. He had to plow the field, he had to seed, etc. When he wanted to wear clothing, he had to perform 7 different functions. I could just walk into the store and buy a loaf of bread from all these people that created, and clothing from all these people that created. The difference between a good guest and a bad guest. A good guest mentions the type of food you serve them. Thank you for the great meat, wine, rolls, and I know you did this all for me. A bad guest doesn't mention the food. He just says, thanks for the peace, for the drink, and you didn't do it for me, you did it for yourself. David HaMelech's father, Yishai, when he came in with 600,000. When he left with 600,000 people. When he spoke to 600,000 people. But in Chutz La'aretz, we don't make the bracha of Chacham Harazim. When you see a Gadol, a Chacham in Yisrael, you make a special bracha, Shecholak Mechachmasai Li'Reyav. When you see a Chacham, but a guy, you say, Baruch Shenasa Mechachmasai Lebasar Adam. When you see a Jewish king, you say, Baruch Shecholak Mekvoidei Li'Reyav. And a non-Jewish king, you say, Baruch Shenasa Mekvoidei Lebasar Adam. Rabbi Yochanan says a person should always try to see Jewish kings and even non-Jewish kings so he can compare the two when Mashiach comes. Rav Sheshes, the Gemara tells us the story, was blind. He went to see the king, and a Tzduki came to make fun of him. He said, you can't see anyways. What are you doing here? He says, look, I'll show you. I understand more than you do. So when the first troops walked by and there was a lot of noise, the Tzduki said, oh, here comes the king. Says Rav Sheshes, not yet. The second troops come. Here comes the king. Not yet. The third troops came and it was complete silence. Says Rav Sheshes, here comes the king. Because that's how it goes with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. When HaKadosh Baruch Hu comes, it's complete silence. Before he comes, there's a lot of wind, there's earthquakes. But when he comes, complete silence. Then the king came and he said, the bracha. Says the Tzduki, why are you making a bracha? You can't even see him. Says the Gemara, either the Tzduki's friends poked the Tzduki's eyes out, or Rav Sheshes looked at the Tzduki and he turned into a heap of bones. Another great story. Rav Shela gave Malchus to a Jew who was a Baal, a Goya. So the Jew went to the king and snitched on Rav Shela. The king summoned Rav Shela and he said, why did you take things into your own hands? Says Rav Shela, because he was Baal, a donkey. Says the king, if so, you should have killed him. He says, no, once we left Eretz Yisrael, we're in Gullus, we don't kill people anymore. And he said, do you have a witness? He says, yeah. Eliyahu Navi came and testified that this guy indeed was Baal, a donkey. Says the Gemara that while all this was going on, Rav Shela started saying, L'cha Hashem Agdula v'Agvura. Says the king, what are you whispering? He says, I'm thanking Hashem for giving us such a great king who knows how to do great judgment. Says the king, oh, you love the kingdom? Take this stick and do din for yourself. Whoever needs, you'll dish it out. Says Gemara, they were leaving the palace, and this snitch Jew tells Rav Shela, what HaKadosh Baruch Hu sends witnesses for lies. Says Rav Shela, it wasn't a lie. You were Baal Chamar. That's considered a Chamar. And Rav Shela noticed that the guy was turning around to snitch on him once again, to say that Goyim are called Chamar. So he took the stick and he killed him. Because Habala Hargacha, Hashkim Lahargoy, he was a Roidef. The Gemara says, since he was saved by this pasuk of the Chashem Agdula, so he darshan it. The Chashem Agdula means Maisa Berachos. Rabbi Kiva says it's referring to the Yam Suf. Vagvura, Rav Shela says as you see it's Mitzrayim. Rabbi Kiva says it's Makas B'chayres. Vateferes is the sun that stood still for Yeshua, and Rabbi Kiva says Matan Torah. Netzach is the fall of Rome, and Rabbi Kiva says it's Yerushalayim. Vahoid is the war of Arnoin. Rabbi Kiva says the Beis Hamikdash. Kichol Bashamayim is Sisra. L'chashem Hamlach. This is all Shela, who says Reb Shela is Gog and Magog in the future. L'chol L'Roish, that even the head of irrigation, HaKadosh Baruch Hu decides that should be his job. If you see houses of Klal Yisrael that are settled, you say the bracha Baruch Matzil Gvul Almana. If they are in a rubble, you say Baruch Dayan Emes. If they're Goysha houses, you say Beis Geim Yisach. In other words, they should be uprooted. And when they're in a Churban, you say Kel Nekamas Hashem. Says the Gemara, a story. Ula Rav Chizda were walking by the rubbles of the house of Rav Chana Bar Chanilai. And Rav Chizda let out a sigh. Says Ula, how could you sigh? It's going to ruin your body. Says Rav Chizda, how can I not sigh? In this house, there were 60 bakers day and night, 24/7, giving out food to all the poor people. There were 4 doors that people could come in from all over. Rav Chana had his hand in his pocket, so that if somebody asked for money, he didn't have to be embarrassed for those few seconds that it takes to stick your hand in the pocket. He put wheat and barley on the outside of the house in the days of famine, so nobody should be embarrassed. They could take it at night. How should I not sigh? So Ula tried to console him, and he said, since the Churban, the houses of Tzaddikim were destroyed, or Mechon says the houses of Tzaddikim are going to be rebuilt. He wasn't consoled. So he said, listen, you know better, you're just a servant of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu's home, the Beis HaMikdash is destroyed, so too yours. Says the Gemara, if a person sees a caver, a cemetery, or just a grave of somebody from Klal Yisrael, you say this long bracha. Baruch atah Hashem, sheyotzer eschem bedin, v'zon eschem bedin, v'kilkel eschem bedin, v'osav eschem bedin, v'osav lakimchem bedin. Reb Nachman used to say, and he would end off, v'yidei mispar kulchem, v'osav lachayoisem, v'lakayim eschem, Baruch atah Hashem, mechayim meisim. And when you say, you see goysha graves, you say, boisha imchem. Reb Shimon says, if you see a friend that you haven't seen in 30 days, you should say Shechiyanu. If it's more than 12 months, you should say Mechaya Mesim, as Rav would say. It takes 12 months to forget about the dead. The Mishnah Berurah brings down, in nowadays we don't really say this bracha. Rav Huna, the son of Rabbi Shua and Rav Papa, another great story. They were walking and they bumped into Rav Chanina Breider Ravika, who was a big gadol. So they said two brachas on him. First of all, Shechiyanu, they haven't seen him in 30 days. Second of all, they said, Says Rav Chanina, let me do one more than you. I'll say a third bracha. Let me say Chacham Arazim, because you are equal to 600,000 people. They looked at him, 600,000 people? What are you, so smart? You made something up? They looked at him, and he died. We said in the Mishnah, if you see different types of people, so says the Gemara, if you see a Bahankin, somebody that has major freckles, a discolored face, you say Mishana Habriyos, special bracha. That's if he was born like that. But if it happened later on in his life, you say Dayina Emes. If you see a kushi, or a white person, very white, or a very heavy or elongated face, a warty face, you say Baruch Meshana Es Habriyos. If a person doesn't have hands, doesn't have feet, or he's blind, or he has hair that's matted, it's one piece, then you say Baruch Dain Emes. If a person sees an elephant, a monkey, or an owl, you say Baruch Meshana Es Habriyos. If you see beautiful creations, you see beautiful trees, you say Baruch Shekachalei Barilamai. We learned in the Mishnah Zikin. What's a Zikin? It's a Shavit. Some say it's a comet, a flying star. Says Shmuel, I know all the paths in heaven, like I know the streets here in Naradai. I just don't understand this Shavit. If this Shavit goes by Ksil, then the world will be destroyed. But the fact is, we see that it goes by Ksil. That's just its glow. That's one pshat. Another pshat is there's a curtain that's torn and you see through it. Or the pshat is when Shavit comes this way and another star comes towards it, that other star backs up. But for us, it looks as if Shavit is continuing, and that's why it seems like it's going there, but it doesn't. Have a wonderful day.